All right, everybody, welcome to our very first episode of the Bingeverse. This is a podcast where we're going to talk about everything regarding the streaming events in TV and film, talk about things that we've watched, and also, get your opinions on things as well. So before we get too far in, I want to first recognize that this is our very first episode that we are recording. Maya, Aunt, how are you all feeling about that?
I'm so excited. I
It's-
feel like we've been working on the back end of this. You and Aunt more so, Priya. But it's really like exciting to just finally record. So I'm very excited.
I feel like I have to use a different word than excited because she took my word. I'm gonna say elated. Very elated. She said we've been working on this forever, so to finally be recording, it's exciting. Ready
Right?
to
No,
get
I
into
feel
it.
like I can't remember exactly how this idea came to, um, how it first came up, but I remember hearing the idea and absolutely loving it. And I feel like all we talk about is movies and TV anyway. So, why not talk about it to y'all? So no, I echo everything everyone is saying. I'm super excited to see this come to fruition, and we've been working really hard on it. So we're excited to bring it all to you guys too. So before we get started, want to do like quick intros around the horn just that we all can get an understanding of who your hosts are. So Maya, you want to go first?
Sure. So hey everyone, my name is Maya. I live in Columbus, Ohio, born and raised here actually. And my Instagram is at into the Mayaverse because you'll come to find I'm a huge Marvel fan. Yeah, into the Mayaverse. Oh, it's my Instagram name.
All right, Aunt, you want to go next?
All right, I'm Ant. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Now I'm in Columbus. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everything. Afroic. That's PHARAOHIIC. Make sure you get the two I's. Um, And then you can also catch me on YouTube. I have those links in my bios of my Twitter and Instagram. So tap into that too.
All right, cool. And hey everyone, I'm Bria. I'm originally from Bloomington, Illinois, which is a really small town in central Illinois. It's like 2 hours south of Chicago. There's nothing to do there, so I would not recommend you checking it out. Right now, I'm currently living in New York. I'm right in Harlem. I actually met Aunt during undergrad at or in Columbus, Ohio, and then I met Maya. Where are we at when we met for the first time?
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like it's so many different. We're definitely like meant to meet. I feel I guess we could say like an undergrad program, like a yeah, like a
Yeah,
college
we were
program.
in an undergrad program for like professional development. And I can't remember where our first conference was, but that's where I met Maya. And then from there, we just, had mutual friends and we just kept meeting that way. And then all three of us finally got together. Like I finally got to collide, get my two worlds to collide this past summer when we were in the DR and everyone just got to meet each other. So that was super cool. Um, I can't remember, like I mentioned, I can't remember how this idea kind of came up for the first time, but both of these two people love film and TV just as much as I do. So it really felt like a perfect fit, and we're super excited to bring this to you all.
Mhm.
So, like I mentioned, for this intro episode, we're kind of going to go through some TV debates, get to know your host, get to know what everyone's preferences are and what they really like about the film and TV industry. So, the first question I'm going to ask you is, what are each of your favorite genres of TV shows and movies?
I will say, without a doubt, murder mystery, any sort of who done it is my number one. Well, it's actually tied with superhero. Now, since we have Disney Plus and HBO Max, now we're putting out some Marvel and DC series. I absolutely adore that genre, and I guess I feel like they're both equally yoked. So I would say murder mysteries and superhero.
And what's yours?
For me, I would say like thrillers, suspenseful thrillers. So like Inception type stuff. I like Jordan Peele movies, so like Us too, and then Get Out, of course. I like scary movies, horror films, even though a lot of them are kind of trash these days. Well, I mean, it is what it is. And also comedies. I say those are my top three.
Okay. Yeah, we are polar opposites. No, I like comedies. I like murder mysteries like Maya. And whodunits are probably my favorite. I like dramas too, just depending on what the topic is. So for example, if it's like the thriller type of drama, I like those, but I'm not really a big fan of the chick flick type of dramas. Those get kind of corny to me, kind of.
He stole my man.
Yeah, like that's okay. So what are your least favorite genres of TV and movies?
We're on the same page, Bria. I think in terms of horror being on the very, very bottom of my list. Never watched it. I'm the biggest chicken on the planet. And I just can't watch it. So definitely horror for me.
I do not like horror either. It's probably one of my least favorite genres for two reasons. First, because I don't like the anticipation of horror movies when it's like something is going to pop out at you and you just don't know when it's going to happen or where it's going to come from. I hate that feeling. It just puts me on edge. Like triggers my anxiety. It's not my favorite. And then second, I feel like horror movies are unnecessarily gory and I hate gore. Like I just don't like blood and limbs and I hate that kind of stuff. So I won't watch it. I won't put myself through it.
When I was younger, I saw something. I was flipping through the channel. I saw something, and it was wild. And I think ever since then I was like, you know what? Nothing will ever be as bad as that. What I saw, so I'm like, this ain't even that bad.
No, I think I stopped liking horror movies when I first watched The Human Centipede.
Oh goodness.
That movie like actually really scarred me. And like I can picture it in my head right now. And I was probably like 13 or 14. I remember I was at someone from my junior high. I was at their house. It was a big sleepover. We're watching, scary movies in the basement. And someone was like, I don't want to watch this. And she was like, it's my house, so we're gonna watch it. I was sitting here like, oh my gosh, I was hoping that she wouldn't make us watch it too. But lo and behold, like we had to watch it, and I have not gotten the image out of my head since. And that was what, over 10 years ago. So
yeah, I bet that's scarring.
And what's your least favorite genre?
I was reality TV. It's like, love and hip hop. Come on now. Johnson's Cabaret. Come on now. Knock it off.
Yeah, that's like my second least.
That song is a banger.
No, it's not. I hate that song. Oh my goodness. And it's on everybody's IG story for their birthday right now. So stop.
No, that is funny. So kind of in the same, I can go fresh with this one because it's a perfect segue into what is your guilty pleasure show. So mine would definitely be reality TV, the trashy type. So Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, Bad Girls Club, like I'm locked into those. Right now I'm watching Real Housewives of Potomac. Real Housewives of Atlanta is my go-to. Like that's the one that I will usually always tune into. I haven't tuned into this past season just because it's not on Hulu yet. And I'm not getting the problem. I've heard bad things about it. And then two, it's just they were in the middle of a pandemic. Some of the episodes I heard were virtual. And so I'm just gonna have to really muster up the energy to watch that as a reality TV show. So Maya, what about you?
So my I guess guilty pleasure, and I say guilty because technically it's out of my age range, but Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures is just something about makes me happy. I used to, when I was a kid, like Barbie and the Nutcracker, like all the
I
different.
loved that movie.
So good. Like something about it just makes me feel like a child again. And it's just so innocent and fun. And if I watch something scary or disturbing, it's like my antidote. So
Mhm.
anyway, I mean, it's a really, really good animated series. And there's a bunch of different like Barbie spin-off series on Netflix. So that is definitely my number one guilty pleasure show. There's 3 seasons too. So lots of content.
Yeah, what about you?
The Office.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
You gotta have that one. Teen
Mhm.
Titans Go.
Oh yes.
Um, I like Love Island, but only the UK one.
Is Love Island the one where there's an episode like every day?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. How do they do
only,
that?
only the UK though, because some accents are hilarious. I don't really care for the USA one. It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. That's the show that
Um,
someone from Ohio State was on, right?
yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
What else? Then I watch a lot of YouTubers. So those are my little guilty time passing shows.
Mhm.
Okay. So next question. A producer or a filmmaker that you have personal beef with?
Ari Aster. Can go to hell.
Oh my gosh.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Midsummer. I'm gonna go backwards. Midsummer. Mid. Overrated. Garbage. Hereditary. Super mid. Super overrated.
People say
Snooze.
that's
I was
like
in.
the best horror movie.
I feel
I was
like
in the
people liked
theater.
Hereditary.
I
Yeah,
feel
snooze.
like most people do. So
Snooze fest. Easily impressed. I was not. Snooze fest. And then the worst of them all, which is why I don't know how you make this and then continue to get funding for other movies. Strange Things About the Johnsons. Like what?
Strange Things About the Johnsons. What was that about?
You've
Without
probably seen
spoiling
it. I'm gonna spoil it. It's about the black family. Which also, why do you have to use black people for this? What's really going on?
I was going to say
Where
it's
they had-
not like Johnson Family Vacation.
Yeah,
Where,
that's what my head went to first, but I was like, no, that's not it.
No, it's the movie about his black family and the son sexually assaults his dad repeatedly.
I ain't seen that.
It came out in 2011. It's literally a very disturbing movie. So I don't know how he got funding for other movies after that, but it's like, why? You have never made a good film. You're
Okay.
0 for 3. Stop giving this man money and screen time.
Yeah, I'm looking it up and it looks a little strange. I'm probably not gonna go watch it. This is the picture,
definitely
the
shouldn't.
meme.
Yeah, you definitely
meme
shouldn't.
on Twitter
Yes.
with the family. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I still haven't seen the movie, but now I at least know where that picture is from if I ever see it in the future.
I don't want to see that man behind another camera. I want to see him back in groceries.
Yeah, some of the still images from Google Photos are a little disturbing, so I'm just gonna leave that right where it is. Maya, I feel like me and you have the exact same producer filmmaker, but go ahead and tell us yours.
Yeah, major beef with Tyler Perry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't. It's sad too because he's a great human being, but I can't look past his work. I mean, it's horrible. And I know he started out with the Medea movies. And I remember I saw a Medea play when I was a kid when I came to Columbus. And I really liked the plays. But now to the point where he's quote unquote scaling his operations in the Tyler Perry studios, the series that he puts out, and I think Spike Lee even made a comment like he just portrays Black people in such a negative light. Sisters, the worst show I've ever seen in my life, and I've only watched it because I was getting my hair braided and I was forced to watch that show.
Which one? One more time.
It's
Okay.
it's like a cult. Basically, these Black people that are in this cult, and they follow this leader, but literally they try to put the most outrageous drama inside of it to the point where it's so disturbing. Like they try to make everything seem like it's so like 100, like it's 0 to 100 in terms of just how fried something can be. Everything is 100. It's horrible. And I'm just so sick for all of his productions. Like they say that he helps keep like Black actors working and things, but I'm like, you could also be allowing more people get work if you allow someone else to write, someone else produce, someone else
to do their hair.
exactly. Like some awesome, like the fact that this man does all three for all of his productions is mind-boggling to me. And I just everything he puts out is so cringe in my opinion. So that's why I beef with him.
No, I have the exact same. That's my exact same answer. For me, I loved Tyler Perry growing up with the plays. I had all the plays on the DVD. We used to always watch them with my grandma, my cousin, and stuff like that. I want to like Tyler Perry. I want to like, and I feel like I'm a big proponent for what he does as far as like, having his own studio and like keeping all these Black actors and actresses employed and all of that. But totally agree with you on giving other writers the opportunity to write for his shows, because I think that's why we're getting some of this trash content that is not really resonating. But then also, I mentioned someone else to do their hair because he consistently has Black women looking crazy in these movies. Consistently, like their wigs be looking a mess. And I don't understand why, if you have all this land, this big studio, and it's right in Atlanta. I don't get it. Like, everyone knows that the people in Atlanta do hair the best. So I don't I don't understand where the disconnect is there. And I really need him to get that together, because I want to like his content, but he just needs to make some changes to it, in my opinion.
Thanks.
And in line with that, try not to do, actually, never mind, I'm not going to put a restriction on it, but what is the worst movie you've ever seen?
Spring Breakers.
I've never seen it because everyone said how horrible it was.
The movie, top to bottom, is awful.
Really?
It's terrible.
I don't think I've ever seen that either. That's one with Selena Gomez, right?
Yes, it's top to bottom awful.
What's it about? Quick.
Too. Spring break.
I don't even remember, but it was just bad, and it was literally just, I don't know. It was about a group of girls on spring break, and it was just fried. Yeah. Not even a good fried. It was just like, all right, I wasted my money and my time.
How old were you when that came out? That feels like forever ago.
It does.
It had to be like high school, probably like my senior year of high school. I feel like.
Yeah. Maya, what about you?
I would say Leprechaun, Back to the Hood. Obvious one. The movie's horrible, but it's like the first Leprechaun. Okay, they try to be kind of like a Chucky type thing, like this, small, scary looking. He's a dog. He's a leprechaun type thing. And the first one, okay, whatever. It's a quote unquote scary movie, but it's corny. But then the fact that someone thought, let's put this leprechaun in the hood and like, let's just see how it happens. It was so bad, like cringe. Like, it's so bad that it's funny in some areas, but the movie is horrible. I was going to say between Catwoman and that, but Leprechaun is definitely the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I haven't thought about the by far worst, but one movie that always comes to mind when I think of the worst movies that I've ever seen is Acrimony.
Oh yeah. In
the same breath as meeting Tyler Perry to get it together. There were so many loopholes in that story, and I don't understand to this day how she got out of the barricade that her family made for her and ended up on the boat. I don't get it. No one can seem to explain that to me, and I don't understand.
And it was funny too. Sorry, Kima, if you're listening. It's so good. We were all three roommates at the time. I remember you were saying like, get your hopes up. And I'm like, yeah, that movie was horrible.
No, that movie was awful. There's so many things that are wrong with it, but the fact that one plot hole actually like kind of haunts me is like the biggest one for me too.
Mm-hmm.
It's equal with A Fall from Grace, which
that one was
also
pretty bad too.
Also Tyler Perry. So
yeah,
that man has to be stopped. You can't keep going away with this.
The sad thing is someone's buying a ticket.
Yeah. So, For the next question, we'll kind of switch gears from, your favorites and your worst, but what is a pet peeve that you have when you're in the movie theater and going to see a movie?
I would say, okay, so I don't think it happens enough for it to be a pet peeve, especially since now you have to choose your ticket before you go into the theater. But I remember I went to go see Black Klansman, and at this point it was like a matinee showing. No, I was the only person in the theater. And then one person came into the theater and sat directly next to me. And I was the only person in the theater.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what
That's
the
the
hell? And I
worst.
think that's a general pet peeve. Like, if there was space for you to go anywhere else, why would you sit right next to me? I immediately got up and left. Haven't even seen the rest of the movie. But that's like one thing. I mean, obviously the crying babies. Why bring a child? That's probably my number one because it happens more often. Like, you should not have to be able to bring in a freaking a car seat into the theater. You just shouldn't. So those are my top two.
No, in that same breath, I also get, I don't get irritated because it's not my child and not my business. But there's some movies that kids should not be in.
Right.
The super scary ones, or the ones that are like clearly for adults.
Mhm.
And I'm just kind of sitting there like, I know what this movie is about. Do y'all know what this movie is about? And should your kid be watching it? But it's not really my business, but it's always something that I'm just kind of like, kind of side-eyeing the parent for.
Right. Oh my God. What was that movie? The one with the guy from Grownish. I forget. He was supposed to be like this pimp or whatever. I remember Kids was in that show.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Wait, which one?
He's like in a
The
leather.
main dude.
The main guy in Grownish. There's like
Remember
four
he was
main
in Burning
characters.
Sand. He was in Burning Sand.
Oh, Trevor Jackson.
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I forget the movie that he was in, but
Hold on, I'm about to look it up.
it's super R.
That was
like,
a big movie too.
yeah, it was like naked women. Like, it was crazy. And somehow someone snuck their child in that movie. I was like, I felt uncomfortable going to see that with my dad. So I'm like, your child, like, that's.
Wait, what was it about? I don't think I've seen that one.
Let me.
Superfly?
Superfly.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Superfly.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God. It wasn't that great, but.
I didn't know he was in that, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Okay.
He was the main character. he was on the poster.
I mean, he looks different on the poster, but I never saw it, so I wouldn't know. What about you, Anna?
List. One, easy talking. That should piss me off every time. Like, please shut up. Please. In modern pandemic times, coughing. I was in Shang-Chi and somebody started coughing like in my row. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, relax. Please leave. Because now I have to worry about that. I'm like, dang, we in a closed space. The air goes going circulating here. It's going to come over to me. I'm going to test positive. You're ruining it.
I also hate when people come to the movie really late. I always thought there was like a cutoff time where they won't sell you a ticket anymore, or your ticket like isn't valid after 15, 20 minutes when the movie starts. But it always irritates me when people come into the theater super late, be talking, trying to find their seat, like, excuse me, can I get past? Like, no, figure out somewhere else to sit because you should have been on time. Like,
also that I hate people that get up 30 fucking times to
oh my God,
walk past
you
you.
really just don't care about the movie. Like,
gotta go get to the bathroom, get popcorn, get a refill.
Especially when it's in your row. Because I gotta keep putting my feet down, putting my recliner up and down.
Don't let it be the recliner.
Horrible.
What else? Let me forget. That's 3. Those are the main ones.
I think in general, like those freaking like ones that serve food, because like you can really, because they take your order at the beginning, but 5 people over here walking through your vision of the movie to give people food. I'm like, you should be able to get your food ahead of time.
Yeah.
I hate that they do that serving while the movie's
no. The first time I think the theater that we went to in Dallas, I think that was the first time that I ever experienced that. I was like, they serve you at your seat. But no, I 100% second that because they be all in the way, like trying to take people's orders and order things in the middle of the movie. Not a big fan of that at all.
Mhm.
Also about that, I feel like it should be like a cutoff time for like when they'll deliver it, because you can like order it, but I feel like if it can't be like delivered by like the time the movie starts,
Yeah.
then it should be cut off. But also, I don't like that the AMC app never works for it. You're supposed to be able to order from your seat. You're supposed to be able to order from the app. It just crashes.
I tried that.
Buggy. Oh my gosh.
Y'all
I tried
make
that
too
when
much
I watched.
money.
I went to go see Shang-Chi the other day. I tried that and it did not work. I was like, but
They make too much money to have a laggy app.
Do y'all get snacks at the theater or you still sneak them in? Because I be sneaking them in. So.
I need a girlfriend just for that.
Oh, so you got a purse?
Yeah.
Yes.
I never pay for stuff. Gosh, I can't say that out loud.
No, I don't pay for movie theater snacks. I was at the theater a couple of days ago, like I mentioned, and to get popcorn and an icy, they're talking about $14.
It's like 15. Yeah, bro. Like
you're out your fucking mind.
I low-key miss Gateway because Gateway wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
but
it
AMC
wasn't.
be breaking you off.
Mhm.
Always trying to take you for every penny. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, the movie theater, I've missed it. I'm glad it's open again, so I'm gonna start going there more often. So the next couple ones will be, or the next one will be your favorite movie or your favorite show. It doesn't have to be your favorite of all time, but just maybe one that you think was done really well.
Oh, this is so tough. Because
This is a hard one.
I have like a short list, and a lot of my favorites are based on like not just how good the movie is, but also like the nostalgia and like how I connected with my personal life type thing. So I mean, I think an obvious one, Avengers Endgame, because it's a culmination of all my favorite films. But outside of that, because I feel like that's too on the nose, is Holes. That is my movie. I love Holes so much.
I forgot about Holes.
Special place in my. I probably rewatched it the most. So it's just like the suspense, the characterization, the friendships, the humor, everything about that movie is so good in my eyes. So Dev Holes is definitely up there for me. Definitely a top 5 movie.
Yeah, Holes is great. I might actually rewatch it for the next couple of days. Yeah, what's one of your favorites?
Inception. Top 5 movie of all time.
Do you understand what went on?
Excellent.
Because I do not still.
I think so.
I watched it a couple of times. I always ended it confused, but it was very well done. I would agree.
Yeah, I really like Inception, but it's not that far up on my list.
Wow, dang. I like Gone Girl a lot too, because that was the first time I was the first one I was ever in theater. And then like literally on the edge of my seat, they had that switch, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
it was so good.
This probably isn't my favorite movie of all time, but I really liked, and I'm blanking on the name, Knives Out.
Yes,
I really loved that movie.
Where's the darkest hell? Darkest fucking turn the light on.
I was thinking, the sun went down on you. But no, I really, really enjoyed the Knives Out movie. Just like, I'm a big murder mystery person anyway. And like the plot twist and the characters, it's just like, yes, I love this movie. I've watched it at least 3 or 4 times at this point. So
thanks. Yeah, it's definitely a top 10 for me too. I love Knives Out.
I think you were the one who told me to go see it. And you were like, you'll love it.
I got everybody. I think I literally had I individually told my sister, my parents, my friends. I'm like, y'all gotta watch this movie.
No, I think I definitely went home for a holiday and we were like, they're like, oh, what do you guys want to watch? I was like, I have the perfect movie. I turned it on. Yeah, I turned it on, and my dad really liked it. He's into that kind of stuff, but my mom wasn't giving me the energy I needed. So I was like,
yeah, my mom movie is crazy.
What are you guys looking forward to coming out the most, like upcoming?
Eternals. Period.
I'm really excited for you. It's been what, like a year and a half since the last season wrapped. Because I think I watched the last season pre-pandemic. So if you don't know, You is a series on Netflix about a stalker guy trying to find love. And it's really cool because it's told from his perspective. So you'd be like kind of empathizing with the guy. And it's kind of crazy thinking, like, saying it out loud, but I really love that series. It's coming back later in October, I think like a month from now.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting a really long time for it. It was supposed to come out in 2020, but then I'm guessing because of pandemic and you know, restrictions and things like that, it got pushed back. And we actually just found out a couple of weeks ago that it's even coming back. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. That's gonna be great. I have to catch up. I only watched the first season, so
It's so good. You should definitely catch up. It's one of my favorites.
what
What are you
about
looking forward to it?
I got a couple. Spider-Man, easy. 007. I've been waiting forever for that movie. Also, pandemic supposed to come out. I was pretty sure it was supposed to come out last year.
yeah,
And it did. They got pushed back. Man, sick. So I hope that's good. I'm happy it's gonna be like 2.5 hours. And then there's another one I just had. Oh, Money Heist. The ending of Money Heist. The final like 5 episodes. I
Oh
cannot
yeah,
wait.
because I split the last season in half, right?
Because why? Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. I hate when they do that.
What do you gain from that?
I watched the first couple seasons of Money Heist and I just never finished it. So maybe I'll have to catch up too. I know Maya mentioned a little earlier she was watching that, so I might have to catch up and see what it's talking about.
Yeah, I haven't even started yet, so I'm gonna watch from season 1. Hopefully this week. We'll see.
It's a top Netflix show.
But yeah, that doesn't mean much because Netflix shows are not that good.
Currently, Money Heist is really good, but yes, a lot of Netflix shows are
horrible. But
Oh my gosh,
lacking.
how could we forget? Insecure is coming back
oh yes,
in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
The final season, which is so sad that it's ending.
Last
I was
episode
like
arguing.
I was watching Instagram stories from their last like shooting, the last episode that they shot, and everyone was crying, and I was right there with them. Like, this is over.
boohoo crying.
Yeah, I was so sad. Like, it's just really crazy how much of an impact that series made, like on social media, on like Black people our age in general, just from like the conversations that came from it, and just Issa Rae as a person, like all the things that she's put out. I'm a super fan of Issa, and I'll talk about her all day, but I'm so excited for this last season.
I feel like that was like part of the foundation of our friendship.
Yeah.
And with the Mario too. And then
we literally used
come over to your place
on Sundays in undergrad. They would come to my apartment. We would all just sit on the couch and argue about the episodes every Sunday. It was like a ritual. So yeah, it's just like the impact that she's made has been really cool. So I'm excited to see what she does for the last season. What do y'all think is gonna happen for this last season? Because what are your predictions?
As long as I'm still Team Lawrence, he cannot get back with Issa.
He's so fun. Oh my god.
Back, well, the idea is she going to take him back? Because he already basically wants to be back with her, but he got this whole debacle that he has to figure out. So I really hope that they're together by the end of this. Like,
I'm for them getting back together too, partially, but part of me, and I don't remember this girl's name. Can someone please remind me? Starts with a C.
Condola, whatever.
Condola, yes. Part of me feels like, because Condola mentioned in one of the episodes that she just, really wanted a kid. What if she just like takes the kid and is like, I don't need you, and just goes on her life? But I don't think Lawrence would let her do that.
Yeah, I don't think he would be like a deadbeat.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what comes of it. People have said that Kelly, is that her name?
The one who's the writer.
Yeah.
On the show.
Yeah. People said that she needs her own spinoff.
She
She's funny.
does.
I like her.
I
I
love
wonder if she needs to get back with the bank lady.
No. He does not. A back shot are heard around the world.
Man.
I remember that article came out. I was weak.
They still use that gift too. Like, bro, stop.
Right.
It's been 5 years. Calm down.
No, that's funny.
I'm curious to see what happens with Molly, because I feel like each season they just give her a new guy to kind of just struggle with. I want
Yeah.
Molly to get some justice, even though she's been a crappy friend last season.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have to bleep that out. Thank you very much. Look at you causing more editing. You can't help yourself. But no, I totally agree. Molly's been struggling with guys since the very first episode, and I feel like she was getting so far with the Andrew, the Asian guy from last season. She got so far with him, like went on a whole vacation, and then boom, it was over. So
it's because she needs me. as most AKs do.
Okay. Anyway, were there any other debates or questions that you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
You know.
Well, if that's it, I want to thank everyone who tuned in for listening to our very first episode of the Bingeverse. I hope you all got to learn a little bit more about your host and kind of what we'll be covering for the rest of the podcast series. Before we log off, please make sure that you subscribe to the podcast, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at the Bingeverse everywhere, and we're at the Bingeverse, and that's on all platforms. So Instagram, Twitter. We're on Clubhouse. We'll be hosting conversations there too. And you can also subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud. So we're going to be a lot of different places. Tell a friend to tune in. We're super excited for this project and are super grateful for you all tuning in as well. And if there's nothing else, we will see you all next time.
And make sure you leave comments. You can answer
questions.
Tell us what your favorite genres are and everything. So leave a comment down below, in our inbox, just anywhere you want to.
Yeah, we might read them out on the next episode. So for sure, comment on things as well. All right, guys. See you next time.
Right. Bye.